What's going on, basketball fans? Before we dive into this absolute bombshell that's rocking the Golden State Warriors organization right now, make sure you smash that subscribe button and hit the notification bell because you do not want to miss any updates on this developing story. Trust me, this is getting wild. So here we are again, folks. The Golden State Warriors, a dynasty that brought us 4 championships in 8 years, are once again making headlines for all the wrong reasons. And at the center of it all? You guessed it. Draymond Green. But this time, it's different. This time, Steve Kerr has finally broken his silence, and what he had to say is absolutely shocking. Let me set the scene for you. The Warriors are struggling this season. They're sitting with a record that has fans questioning whether this team can even make a legitimate playoff push, let alone compete for another championship. The chemistry that once made them unstoppable seems fractured, and tensions in the locker room have reportedly reached a boiling point. And now we're getting confirmation from sources inside the organization that Draymond Green had another one of his infamous explosions, and this one might be the most significant yet. Now, if you've been following the Warriors over the years, you know that Draymond's intensity is both his greatest strength and his biggest weakness. This is a player who plays with unmatched passion, a guy who will literally give everything he has on the court, who will defend his teammates to the death, and who brings an energy that few players in the NBA can match. But that same fire has gotten him into trouble time and time again. We've seen the suspensions, the technical fouls, the incidents with teammates, and let's not forget the punch heard around the world when he connected with Jordan Poole during practice just a couple of seasons ago. But according to multiple reports from inside the Warriors facility, what went down recently makes those previous incidents look like minor disagreements. Sources are saying that Draymond absolutely lost it during a team meeting, going off on not just his teammates, but also questioning coaching decisions and the overall direction of the franchise. We're talking about a full-blown, no-holds-barred verbal assault that left several players stunned and the coaching staff scrambling to restore order. The timing of this explosion couldn't be worse for Golden State. They're in the middle of a crucial stretch of their season, desperately trying to climb up the Western Conference standings, and the last thing they need is internal conflict tearing the team apart from the inside. Stephen Curry is still performing at an elite level, trying to carry this team on his back night after night, and now he has to deal with this distraction. Klay Thompson is working to find his rhythm and consistency, and young players like Jonathan Kuminga and Moses Moody are trying to develop and find their roles on this team. So what exactly triggered Draymond this time? Well, according to our sources, it stems from a combination of factors. First, there's the frustration with losing. Draymond Green is a winner, plain and simple. He's been to 6 NBA Finals, won 4 championships, and he knows what it takes to compete at the highest level. Watching this team struggle to beat teams they should be dominating has been eating away at him. Second, there are reports of disagreements about playing time and rotations, with Draymond allegedly feeling that certain players aren't being held accountable for their mistakes while others are being scapegoated. But here's where it gets really interesting. Multiple sources suggest that Draymond's frustration also extends to what he perceives as a lack of urgency from some of his younger teammates. He reportedly called out players by name, questioning their commitment, their work ethic, and their understanding of what it means to wear a Warriors jersey. He allegedly said that some guys are more concerned with their social media presence and their brand than they are with winning basketball games. Now, whether that's fair or not is debatable, but it shows you where Draymond's head is at right now. And then Steve Kerr spoke. After days of silence, after dodging questions from reporters and keeping things in-house, the legendary coach finally addressed the situation. And folks, he did not hold back. Kerr, who's typically measured and diplomatic in his public statements, showed visible frustration when discussing the locker room situation. He acknowledged that there have been difficult conversations within the team and admitted that not everyone is on the same page right now. But here's what really caught everyone's attention. Kerr said, and I'm paraphrasing here, that while he values Draymond's passion and leadership, there's a line that cannot be crossed. He emphasized that everyone in the organization, from the coaching staff to the star players to the end of the bench guys, needs to operate with respect and professionalism. He made it clear that individual accountability applies to everyone, and that includes Draymond Green. Kerr also got real about the challenges of managing personalities on a team with championship aspirations. He talked about how difficult it is to balance veteran leadership with young player development, and how the pressure of trying to extend a championship window while also preparing for the future creates natural tensions. But he was adamant that those tensions cannot manifest in ways that undermine the team's foundation. What's fascinating about all of this is the broader context. The Warriors are at a crossroads as a franchise. Stephen Curry is 36 years old and still playing at an MVP level, but the clock is ticking. Klay Thompson is no longer the same defender he once was, and his offensive consistency has been questioned. Draymond himself is 34 and has clearly lost a step athletically. Meanwhile, the front office has invested heavily in young talent, hoping to build a bridge to the next era of Warriors basketball. This creates a fundamental tension. The veterans want to win now, to squeeze every last drop of championship contention out of this core before it's too late. The young players are trying to develop and earn their place in the rotation. And the coaching staff and front office are trying to balance both priorities simultaneously, which is incredibly difficult to do. So where does this leave us? Well, the immediate question is whether Draymond will face any disciplinary action for his latest outburst. The Warriors have suspended him before, most notably for the Jordan Poole incident, and they've shown a willingness to hold him accountable when his behavior crosses the line. But they're also acutely aware of how important Draymond is to their defensive identity and their championship aspirations. Taking him off the court could hurt their playoff chances, but letting his behavior go unchecked could destroy the locker room chemistry entirely. There are also bigger questions about Draymond's future with the franchise. He's under contract, but if this situation continues to escalate, the Warriors may have to make a difficult decision about whether keeping him around is worth the constant drama. And from Draymond's perspective, if he truly feels that the organization isn't committed to winning at the level he expects, he might start looking for an exit himself. The ripple effects of this situation extend beyond just the Warriors. This is a story about the challenges of sustaining excellence in professional sports, about the difficulties of managing strong personalities, and about what happens when a dynasty starts to crumble. It's about the pressure that comes with championship expectations and the human element that often gets overlooked when we talk about these athletes as just pieces on a chessboard. Steve Kerr's decision to finally speak out publicly signals that this situation has reached a critical point. He's essentially putting everyone on notice that changes need to happen, and soon. Whether that means Draymond needs to adjust his approach, whether other players need to step up their commitment, or whether the coaching staff needs to make adjustments to their system, something's got to give. As we move forward, all eyes will be on the Warriors. How they navigate this crisis will determine not just their success this season, but potentially the future of the entire franchise. Can they pull together and recapture the magic that made them a dynasty? Or is this the beginning of the end for one of the greatest runs in NBA history? We're about to find out, and it's going to be absolutely fascinating to watch. Make sure you subscribe to this channel because we'll be bringing you every update, every development, and every piece of insider information as this story unfolds. Drop a comment below and let me know what you think. Should the Warriors stand by Draymond no matter what, or is it time to move on? I'll see you in the next video.